afternoon. Welcome to CityCast. This is Subhashri Mahapatra.
And this is Rishabh Rai, and here are the headlines for today.
A Russian tank shot down a car carrying a family of 4 in Kharkiv. We bring you updates from the war-torn city. Our reporter Shipona Roy talks to a resident who is trapped there.
A Russian tank shot down a car carrying a family of 2 children. The parents and a 9-year-old girl died while the 17-year-old boy was injured. As Russia intensifies its attack on Ukrainian cities, President Zelensky ruled out any possibility of surrender. The Ukrainian president said his country would be destroyed before it surrenders its cities to invading Russian forces. This is Shipona Roy reporting for CityCast.
The applicants of Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana have not received funds to build their houses. Our reporter Shubhashri tells us what the situation is like in Bangalore South.
Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana's data shows 75% of its applicants in South Bangalore haven't received their funds for housing. 13 applicants of K. Golahalli Gram Panchayat have registered for the scheme in 2016. However, none of their houses are completed. According to the scheme, government provides monetary help to applicants to build a house with basic facilities. But the applicants don't have a bank account linked with their Aadhaar cards to get the funds.
सुमार हाउस नहीं गवर्नमेंट हाउस नहीं माने प्रॉब्लम आ गया.
The Jilla Panchayat Housing Department says that they are waiting for the data verification of these applicants.
ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 2018 ಎನ್ಸಿಸಿ ಡಾಟಾ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಫಲಾನುಭವಿಗಳಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಷಿಯರೀಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇವಾಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲ.
Rural development expert stresses on the importance of the local governance to make the system work more efficiently.
बेसिक और अच्छा चीज है कि आप ग्राम सभा को स्ट्रेंथन करिए. स्ट्रेंथन होगा तो आप मनरेगा के थ्रू वहाँ के लोगों को मोबिलाइज कर सकते हैं, उनका लाइवलीहुड इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं, करप्शन को मिटिगेट कर सकते हैं.
Experts believe that government program to promote governance as well as financial literacy will be a sustainable solution to this issue. This is Subhashri reporting for CityCast Bangalore. Domestic workers earn close to half of what they used to earn before the pandemic. Our reporter Prantika Ghosh talks to a domestic help and tells us why this is happening.
The domestic workers are still struggling for their livelihood. Their salaries have been reduced to half after the pandemic by the employers.
இப்போ இவ்வளோ டைம் அப்படின்னு லீவ் போட்டால் எதனா ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் கேட்டாலும் அவங்க வந்துட்டு காசு பிடிச்சின்னு கொடுக்குவாங்க, ஃபுல் அமௌண்ட் கொடுக்கறதில்ல. அப்புறமா லீவ் போடாமல் வேலை செய்யணும் அவங்களுக்கு இவ்வளோன்னு. அதே டைமில் ஒரு வாட்டி அவங்க வீட்டில் அதான் ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆகட்டும் எதே இருந்தாலும் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா இது இருக்குதானே அதுக்கெல்லாம் காசு இல்லை.
सैलरी है 1500 वो लीव गई तो वो 800 या 700 देती है.
In July last year, Karnataka government assured High Court that all domestic workers will be given 2,000 rupees as COVID relief fund. However, according to Sri Jagruti Samiti, only 10% of them have received the money after a struggle of 8 months.
After that, the 2000 things, no, there is so many rules and regulation. First को ही नहीं पता था वो कैसे अप्लाई करना, किसी क्या क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्स होना, उनको भी नहीं पता था. वो 1 मंथ उसी में चली गया. उनको 2000 रुपीज़ ही आता है, उसमें 500 वो मिडिल पीपल को दे तो 1500 में क्या करना पड़ेगा.
A survey by Bruhat Bangalore Griha Karmika Sangha says that 30% of them still not joined their work ahead of the economic crisis.
Minimum Wages Act is there. The point is not the act being there or not there. The point is what does the government do to make it mandatory? But till today there is no case filed under that. Till today there is no conviction under that. even in normal times, to get what is implemented under the Act has been very difficult. No one comes to complain now. Even if the women come to complain, immediately the employers throw them out.
The number of workers earning low wages increased by 30% from April 2020 to November 2021. Domestic Workers Union believe that the struggle for equal pay has a long way to go. I am Prantika Ghosh reporting for CityCast, Bangalore.
Rural women are hesitant to seek professional healthcare services. Our reporter Arshia Agarwal tells us what their condition is.
A report by National Institute of Advanced Studies shows less rural women seeking medical help. 12% rural women in Karnataka have had a miscarriage. However, only 3 to 5% approached a doctor. 63% delivered at home with untrained attendants and unsanitary conditions, as a result of which 73% experienced postpartum health risks.
They will not have money to go to a hospital because they should depend on their husband for money also. And usually the husbands will be taking the wife only when she is very sick, when she is bedridden. Otherwise they won't take.
This is despite women needing more care. The issues include 28% more fever, 17% more aches and pain, and 9% more respiratory illness.
ಆಯುರ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಯುರ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ವಾಸಿ ಆಗೋದು. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಹೊಲ ತೋಟ ಕೆಲಸ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಆ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ತಗೊಂತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
The absence of timely medical care and not having trust on professional services are main reasons for this. Experts say that this varies according to factors.
It depends on many factors. What is the age group of that woman? Where does she live? Education background. There are proven ways of ensuring that services are available and accessible to women in general through frontline health workers. That approach can be certainly strengthened further by governments.
Women in rural areas do not have money for medical care, forcing them to opt for low-cost services. This is Arshia Agarwal reporting for CityCast.
We will take a short break. On the other side, we will see how over-the-top platform is gaining popularity in India. Welcome back. Many viewers in India have shifted their viewing to over-the-top platform in last 2 years. Our reporter Saili Patil finds these platforms are expected to grow.
According to the report by Netflix India, there is an increase of 73% in the viewership of OTT platforms since the year 2020. The viewers are preferring web content over the television content.
Since 2 years, nobody at my house has even watched television. We subscribed to Amazon Fire Stick around the start of COVID, and I subscribed to almost all of the OTT platforms. So the content online is much better than any of those Sansahu dramas on television.
The report by Netflix also says that in 2020, the total revenue earned by OTT platforms rose to 19 billion rupees. It is expected to go up to 46 billion rupees this year. According to the report by Advertisement and Media Insider, 50% of the content on various over-the-top platforms is local content in regional languages. Unlike daily soaps and films, web series are more inclusive and have variations in content.
You have foreign content also, right? And people are consuming all of this content. So audiences become much sharper and much more intelligent. So that is one thing. So definitely whatever you make, you have to be very inclusive. You have to make sure that your characters are very inclusive.
90% of the consumers are attracted to regional content in India. Only 7% of the people like watching English content.
OTT platforms are there who are ready to experiment with the kind of content that goes on their OTT platform, and because of that you get to experiment with your story as well. The audience which is on OTT is also more accepting of cast which does not have a star cast as such.
With the growing popularity of online streaming platforms, the market value of Indian digital media is expected to hit 424 billion rupees by 2030. This is Saili Patil reporting for CityCast.
Sale of two-wheelers in India are driven by electric vehicles. Our reporter Shubham Chauhan tells us more.
A Parliament reply by the Union Transport Ministry shows the sale of two-wheeler electric vehicles between 2019 and 2021 increased by 422%, going up from 28,500 to 1,50,000. Karnataka recorded the second highest registration at around 33,000 in the last year. This as sales of regular two-wheeler vehicles have dropped. Consumers say high fuel prices is a major reason for them not buying one.
I have many friends who use two-wheelers and I see them spending a large amount of money on petrol, and also there's no parking spot. On top of that, petrol costs too much, and that is why I don't prefer buying a two-wheeler.
Data from the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association shows there has been an 11% decline in domestic two-wheeler sales between February 2021 and 2022. High fuel prices, semiconductor chip shortages post-pandemic are some of the reasons for the same. Retailers say they face a tough competition in the market thanks to electric vehicles.
We are waiting for the customers since the electric vehicles are in the market. We are having a tough competition compared to other brands. Definitely it has been changed, and the major impact is petrol prices also hike, and the road transport, road tax also it has been hiked from the government.
Experts say there is a change in consumer mindset about EVs.
The problem is that a doubt has been created in the customer's mind that the future is EV. So when he buys a petrol scooter, he thinks, will it be relevant to me 8 years down the line, 6 years down the line? There are a lot of issues like where will he get the charging?
Experts say going forward, electric vehicles will contribute a significant chunk to the sale of two-wheelers. This is Shubham Chauhan reporting for CityCast.
Sales of real estate and residential spaces have almost doubled since previous year. Our reporter Rishabh Rai tells us why.
A report by PropTiger shows that there has been a 44% increase in the sales of residential units in Bangalore. This sales figure is only trumped by Ahmedabad. Promoters felt confident owing to the increased sales.
We live in an independent house. We decided to purchase last year in September. We felt a gated community will be safer and best for us. We mainly looked for the locality, the builder, accessibility to metro station, and BWSSB water connection.
The lowering of bank rates was another factor that influenced and motivated people to upgrade their options of a new home. According to a report by Cushman & Wakefield, a global commercial real estate firm, the number of residential spaces made available in Bengaluru doubled to 7,200 in the last quarter of the year 2021.
The first reason is people are buying homes as one, part of security for them, for their family. But after all this pandemic, everybody have realized that there's no certainty in life. Only people are upgrading to better lifestyle. Loan interest being the lowest today, so there are a lot of people who are buying as investment. 9% and above. Today it is 7% change, 6.5%.
The southeast part of the city, Sarjapur for example, saw unprecedented growth and accounted for 44% of the total number of new residential units in Bengaluru. The mid-segment had a share of 78% in the new launches.
Sarjapur side. Bangalore has always been active in terms of launches. Firstly, the stretch between Whitefield and Sarjapur, that also comes in the corridor, and this metro factory also works for the southeast of now.
The year-on-year increase in the number of units sold in Bengaluru has almost doubled. This marks the builders' confidence. Also, the demands for flats, houses and standalone property seems to be multiplying, with more people trying to find a permanent dwelling for themselves. This is Rishabh Rai reporting for CityCast. Canada witnesses a steep increase in racism cases after the pandemic. Our reporter Sriporna Roy tells us more.
Data from Statistics Canada shows that there is an 80% increase in hate crime motivated by race and ethnicity in the last year.
I recognized it when I was younger. At that time, all I knew was that I was different than the rest of the people around me. I work in customer service, and I see that as soon as someone's unhappy, race is usually the first thing they comment on.
The fear of being attacked, alienation, lack of confidence and self-esteem, and anxiety remains a constant in most immigrants' mind.
I always question things like, is the name on my resume going to limit my chances of getting picked for a job? I'm married to a Canadian, and I wanted to change my last name. Not because I'm ashamed of my own, but more so because I recognize that life is easier having a Canadian last name. I absolutely see that change now in terms of how clients perceive me.
Incidents reported is more than double the number of those reported in the US, with Vancouver leading with the greatest number of anti-Asian attacks in Canada. Immigrants don't feel comfortable to report to the police as they fear discrimination.
There was a man who was shot most recently in Calgary, Alberta, 4 to 8 times, I believe. Show up, and because this man was Black and Black people are historically just linked closer to violent or having violent tendencies, they reacted in a way that was rooted in white supremacy and racism.
Activists believe that anti-racism bills need to be addressed. Education is an integral part, and until people are aware of the impact, there won't be a big change. This is Sriporna Roy reporting for CityCast.
That is all for today. Thank you for watching.
For more stories, visit citycast.in.